Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hopefully you're all doing well. This is just a quick review on the Drake Ghillie chair blind. They've had a couple different names for this blind, and they've done a couple changes over the years for this particular blind, but it remains the same. It's a very easy setup chair blind for marsh or flooded cornfield.
We're gonna see how quickly it goes together. It's a great option if you're doing solo hunts and you have a little setup in a little pond or you're in a marsh area and you don't want to lug too much stuff in with you. So just going to show how quickly it goes together. So it has a nice little carrying strap right here that you can pick it up with. But literally all you do is you take your blind like this. There's a buckle like right here. You undo this buckle and you open up the blind, and it just opens up in three sections like this. Down here you can control how high your blind is, whether you want it higher and it's out of the water. It's just held in with these pins, and there's like these little detents there to keep them from backing out on themselves. And you just drop the chair down. Now you put the pin through here, and you just have to kind of like work that pin home. Goes through. There's a little kind of bearing detent in there that stops it from kind of working loose. One of the secrets I find with this blind here, you kind of want to set it up so it's narrow as pushing in, and then you just kind of use your weight to kind of stick it down into the ground, and it'll get fairly snug. And then you kind of come around here, and I haven't figured out the best way to carry the hood, but the hood's super easy. Just kind of like where I have this kind of fake grass on a bungee cord, I just put the hood in there, and the hood, super easy. Kind of line it up right there. There's pins with little detents. I like the middle section. You can set it for your height and just push through there. Clip like that. And then like that, kind of flick it forward, and to stop it from going too far forward, there is a little button right here, and that's a pretty heavy duty button. You clip it in, snap it in place, and again, same thing for this one right here. You kind of line it up. You snap it in there like that, flick it across, and this door right here is magnetized, so, and it's really comfortable. You have a nice kind of like mesh chair, and when you get all set up here, I kind of flick the grass forward, and you're all set. And once the bird comes in, there's plenty of room here. If you're in a dry area, you can kind of rest your gun upright, or if you're in a marsh, you can have the gun rested like right here, kind of, and the barrel kind of sticking out. But when you want to go shoot and the birds come in, you just flick it up, and it's that easy. To take it apart, it's just as quick. Again, I like to start with the removing the hood here. So again, and before I take it down, you can kind of see, I'll take a couple steps back. I mean, it camos in really well. It just blends right in. So, but to take it down, you just unclip these like that, pull the hood back, The pins are all on metal cables, so they're not going to go anywhere. Pull that back. Again, I'm still trying to figure out the best way, but I find if I put this down in there, quick storage, doesn't go anywhere. I tuck all the fake grass in as much as possible. Yep, and then I move around here. This is the part where I take the door. Again, all the pins are connected, so you don't have to worry about dropping them in the water. I take the door here and I just basically kind of tuck it into the seat, and then you fold the seat end in first and get in as tight as you possibly can. And then this next door comes across, and there's just a little clip like that, and it's all ready to be carried out.
As you can see, it sets up really easily. Once you get the legs stomped down into some ground, it really sturdies itself up. The only thing I find kind of annoying is the hood. It's not part of the blind. You actually have to kind of like attach it, as you can see on the sides, and we'll see how long those snaps will last. If they go, that's easy. I already know exactly what I'm going to replace them with, but I'll use them until they break. But for the most part, it's a really easy blind to set up. All right, so going over the positives and the negatives of this blind. One of the biggest positives of this blind compared to other marsh chairs on the market is the price. The price of this blind, it seems to be, out of the Marsh products for chair blinds, the better out of them out there. Now, there are some downsides. It is heavier than some of their competitors, and certainly doesn't have as many features. You do have adjustable legs on the sides, but you can't individually adjust the legs. They all have to be either the same height. So if you're hunting in areas where the ground is not quite as level, you may feel that this blind might be sagging to one side or sagging a little bit too forward. But if you're really careful on where you pick to set up your blind, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Right off the bat, I knew, wait, it's coming in on the heavier side of the chair blinds out there compared to some of their other products. So I wanted to make it as light as possible. That's why I went with synthetic grass versus natural grass. So I don't have to worry about it getting really, really heavy when it gets wet. And also I don't have to worry about mold and that kind of stuff that sometimes you go through with natural grass. And also I wanted to attach it so it's on and I don't lose as much when I'm out hunting as I do with natural grass. But it doesn't mean that I can't add natural grass to it. And that's one thing I was really impressed with. It comes with lots of stubble straps. It's very easy to stubble it in with the artificial grass. They even make their own. A lot of companies are doing it now. So, I mean, ultimately, if you can't find one, you can't find, it's not like it's the end of the world. There's a lot of companies doing the synthetic grass or artificial grass that gives it the dead grass look. For me, when I got it all grassed in, just due to product limitations on where I lived, they only had one color. So I grassed it up and it was almost too bright. It looked not realistically enough that I liked. So I just went out and got some camo paint, did the old school version of grass, grab a couple branches and some dead grass and sprayed it up a little bit and darkened it up in some spots. And it makes it look way better, way more realistic. Definitely happy with the results. But I'm still going to add some natural stuff when I get out to the spot about this. If I'm hunting in an area where there's not much kind of grass coverage, and if the grass is maybe only up to my ankles, this blind completely boxes you in. It covers up your legs. It covers up everything. The only downside to this blind, I would say, is the hood. The hood, You use 2 little side pins that you push in, makes it really quick and easy to set up, but you have to keep checking to make sure that they don't work themselves out, or else it can pop out. Not a huge issue, you just want to make sure that they stay in. One thing I did when I got it, and I highly recommend, is I went over every single bolt. The nice thing is they use locking nuts on the bolts to connect the frames together, so you don't really have to worry about them working out. But I definitely went over every single bolt on it, so when I got out there I didn't have to worry about something backing itself off. And there was another kind of few things that I went over to make sure that the blind was everything was tight, everything was sturdy, ready for me to go hunt with. The other thing that I also did to make sure is I just got comfortable taking it apart, putting it together, taking it apart, putting it together. So I wasn't figuring out anything for the first time when I got out to the field hunting or the marsh hunting with it. Certainly a really interesting blind, very interesting concept. It's comfortable, and I have to say that. The only thing is where kind of your backrest is. There's a bit of a gap. If you're a bigger person, probably not an issue. If you're smaller than me, you might want to try to figure out something to kind of like close that gap in. But other than that, between the seat and the backrest. But other than that, it's really easy. And the only other downside that I might have to contend with is the hood that comes over. There's nothing really to keep it clipped down. So if you're having high winds, it might want to flick back on you. So I might take a bungee. There's a video on YouTube of somebody else who has this blind, which I watched. Highly recommend checking out their video. And they did a good job on it, and actually made, like, I watched that and it made me confident enough to go purchase it. Again, where I live, this kind of stuff is limited. Canadian Waterfowl Supplies has a great selection of waterfowl hunting stuff. I don't have any sponsorship from them whatsoever, nor am I looking for sponsorship from them. If they ever want to reach out to me and talk to me, and I'm all ears. But again, I hunt because I love to. I hunt because I enjoy eating the food, and the product that I purchase is just the tools that allows me to get out there and go do it. For me, this blind has some really good features to it that will allow me to hunt safely, to be more concealed. It's just going to be interesting in terms of, it is a little bit bigger, so how I get it out there is going to be something I might have to battle with. If you're using a boat, I don't think that's an issue at all. If you're using jet sleds, you might have to pack a little bit more wisely with this, because it is certainly a little bit bigger than some of their competitors. Other than that, it's a really great blind. I like it a lot. If you have any hunting stores that have them out, I would definitely recommend hopping in, testing it out, and seeing what you think. If this video is any help of getting the blind, hopefully you're able to get the right blind for you. All right. Thank you so much for all the support, all the likes.